Stop scrolling, because what you're about to hear could unlock the truth about your very existence. Have you ever felt like you're different? Like there's a fire inside you that you can't explain? That no matter what you do, there's a deeper pull, a silent voice calling you to something greater? That's not your imagination, and it's not coincidence. It's divine design. The exact month you were born is not just a detail. It's a key, a spiritual fingerprint left by God Himself that holds clues about your identity, your gifts, and your calling. And if you don't know what it means, you might be walking blind through a life that was meant to be lived with holy purpose. The Bible says in Jeremiah 1-5, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you." That means before your first breath, before your name was ever spoken on earth, God had already called you by name in heaven. And here's the shocking part. Every single month of the year carries a unique spiritual mission. One of them belongs to you. And if you don't know what it is, you're missing out on the clarity, direction, and breakthrough that comes from walking in alignment with your divine design. So don't leave, because in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what each birth month reveals and what heaven may have been trying to tell you your whole life. And hey, if you're watching this and you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? This isn't just content. This is a wake-up call for your soul. Hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss what God is about to show you next. Before the world even whispered your name, God had already written your story. There's something sacred about that truth. You're not a random soul floating through time. You were designed with precision, intention, and eternal love. In Jeremiah 1-5, the Lord speaks to the prophet saying, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." That isn't poetic fluff, it's divine reality. Imagine that. Even before your mother knew she was expecting, God already saw your face, your battles, your victories, and yes, your purpose. The moment of your birth wasn't chosen by the universe or fate, but by the very hands that shaped the stars. That kind of calling, it doesn't expire. It simply waits for your yes. Some people go through life believing they're just here, like they showed up late to a party they weren't invited to. But heaven doesn't make mistakes. If you've ever felt like you don't belong or that your life lacks direction, it's not because God forgot you. It's because you're still discovering the layers of what He's already placed inside you. Think about Moses, a man born during a time of persecution, hidden in a basket, raised in a palace, only to become the one who would lead his people out of Egypt. Was that random? No. Every detail was divine choreography, and the same goes for you. Your personality, your talents, your birth month, none of that is random. God doesn't do random. What if your life's been whispering purpose all along, and you just didn't realize the language? What if your month of birth holds clues to your mission? The kind that, once unlocked, changes how you walk, pray, and believe. This isn't just spiritual talk, it's divine strategy. We'll begin this journey by peeling back the layers of time and uncovering how your birthday month might reveal what heaven's always seen in you. Because once you realize you were chosen, you stop chasing approval and start living on assignment. Every month holds more than dates and deadlines. It holds divine meaning. In God's calendar, time isn't just measured, it's anointed. When you were born, it wasn't just a random tick of the clock. It was a sacred appointment. Each month carries a unique spiritual essence, like January's bold beginnings or December's message of fulfillment. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, "To everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven." That means your month of birth carries clues, fingerprints of God's intent for your soul. God uses seasons to reveal identity, and your birth month might be whispering truths you've overlooked. It's not about superstition, it's about prophetic timing. Just like God appointed Moses for a season of deliverance and Esther for such a time as this, your arrival was wrapped in significance. You might discover that the passions stirring in your heart align with the spiritual symbolism of your month, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. So let's begin unlocking the mystery, one month at a time. What if the day you were born wasn't just the beginning of your life, but the unveiling of your assignment. Every person carries a divine deposit, something heaven placed inside them before their first breath. But here's the part most people miss. Your birth month can hold the key to understanding what that deposit is. Just as God gave Jeremiah a prophetic calling before he was formed, Jeremiah 1-5, he also embedded unique gifts and missions into each soul, often revealed through the season they entered the world. Your passions, your struggles, your instincts, they're not random. They're clues. Imagine realizing that your compassion isn't just a trait, it's a tool. Or that your leadership isn't just personality, it's purpose. The month you were born can highlight the spiritual lens through which you were meant to see the world. Some months carry the anointing of builders, others of healers, visionaries, peacemakers, or warriors of truth. When you begin to align with your divine design, life takes on new meaning. It's no longer about fitting in, it's about rising into what was always yours. As we walk through the spiritual identity of each month, pay close attention. You might just find yourself. Those born in January carry the spark of beginnings in their very soul. They often walk into a room and shift the atmosphere not by force, but by presence. It's as if God placed in them a divine blueprint to pioneer, to build where there was nothing, and to speak life into what others deemed impossible. January isn't just the first month on a calendar. It symbolizes creation, order, and direction. People born in this month tend to see potential where others see problems. They're the Nehemiahs of this generation, builders of walls and restorers of ruins. Nehemiah 2:17-18. Take those born on January 1st. There's something incredibly sacred about starting the year with them. They often have a strong creative force and a calling to initiate movement, not just in their own lives, but in others. They carry the spirit of Genesis 1. Let there be light, bold enough to bring clarity to chaos. And those born on January 6th, the day of Epiphany, often walk with a heightened spiritual sensitivity. Their mission is discovery, to seek, discern, and reveal divine truth, much like the Magi who followed a star to find the newborn king. These initiators don't just start projects. They ignite destinies. They are often leaders, vision casters, and courageous souls who take the first step when no one else dares. If you were born in January, perhaps you've always felt a pull to step out first, to build from scratch, or to lead with faith even in uncertainty. That's not arrogance, it's assignment. And once you recognize that divine pattern within you, the fear of starting fades, and the courage to fulfill your calling rises. Those born in February often carry a kind of quiet strength the world desperately needs. They're not the loudest in the room, but their presence brings calm, comfort, and clarity. Their hearts are tender, not weak, capable of absorbing pain, listening deeply, and responding with grace. It's as if God placed within them a divine ability to mend what's been broken and to speak peace into chaos. Like Barnabas, the son of encouragement, Acts 4:36. They are natural encouragers, called to soothe, support, and uplift. For those born on February 2nd, the day Jesus was presented in the temple, Luke 2:22-35, there's often an early sense of purpose. Like Simeon and Anna, who waited faithfully in the temple and recognized Jesus as the Messiah. These individuals are spiritually attuned and carry a deep sense of devotion. Their mission often includes healing, intercession, and acts of quiet service that go unnoticed by many, but are celebrated in heaven. They feel things deeply and love with intentionality, making them safe harbors in a noisy world. Their gift isn't just emotional sensitivity, it's spiritual discernment. They can walk into a room and sense what's really going on. They know when to speak, when to stay silent, and when to simply be. If you were born in February and have often been told you're too sensitive, know this. That sensitivity is your superpower. It's what allows you to reflect God's heart of mercy. In a world hungry for peace, your presence is a living prayer. And your mission is to keep building bridges where others only see walls. March is a month of movement. Those born in this season often carry within them an unshakable urge to seek, to ask, and to go beyond. They're not content with surface-level answers. They want the depths. Spiritually, they resemble Abraham, who left everything familiar to follow God into the unknown, Genesis 12:1. March-born individuals walk with questions, not because they doubt, but because they trust that what God has for them requires a journey. Their faith is not static, it's alive, stretching, reaching, growing. Those born on March 17th often face spiritual storms early in life. But those trials aren't punishment, they're preparation. Like Noah building the ark before the rain, these individuals are called to prepare something lasting in the midst of uncertainty. And those born on March 25th, the day of the Annunciation, Luke 1:26-38, carry a powerful calling to believe the impossible and to speak it into being. Like Mary, their yes to God releases something heavenly into the world. Their words carry weight, and their faith opens doors. If you were born in March, you've probably felt that holy restlessness, that tug in your spirit that says, there's more. And you're right. Your life isn't meant to follow the crowd. It's meant to chart new paths, in prayer, in worship, in bold acts of obedience. Your mission is to trust God even when the map is blank, to leap even when the bridge isn't built yet. And as you walk by faith, others will follow, because your courage becomes a testimony that the impossible is just God's starting point. Those born in April are no strangers to endings, but they carry the rare gift of beginning again. Their path is often marked by loss, transition, and resurrection. Like Jesus, whose sacrifice and return to life define the very soul of this season, April-born souls are called to walk through valleys and emerge stronger, wiser, softer. They are living testimonies that pain does not have the final word, hope does. They echo the words of Job. I know that my Redeemer lives, Job 19:25. Clinging to light even in the shadow of despair. These are not fragile people. They're forged through fire. While others crumble under pressure, those born in April rise again and again. They have a quiet resilience that inspires everyone around them. Their ability to close one chapter and open another with faith is nothing short of holy. Like the spring that follows winter, they bring proof that life can bloom again, no matter how barren things once seemed. Their hope isn't wishful thinking, it's deeply rooted in experience and refined by trials. If you were born in April, chances are you've endured seasons where everything had to fall apart before it could be rebuilt. But those ashes weren't waste, they were soil. God planted something sacred in your soul, the power to rise. You carry a prophetic message that echoes through your life. It's never too late for grace to restore what was broken. Your mission is to live that truth so loudly that others start to believe it too. May-born souls carry a grace that turns heads, but their beauty isn't just physical, it's spiritual. It flows from a heart tuned to heaven's frequency. They see what others miss, the divine in the details, the sacred in simplicity, the light even in heavy places. Their mission is to reflect the gentleness and boldness of God at once, to walk with elegance but stand with strength. Like Esther, they were born for such a time as this, Esther 4:14, with a calling that demands both poise and bravery. When they speak, it isn't just communication, it's healing. Those born on May 5th often carry a fearless faith, the kind that looks giants in the eye and doesn't flinch. They're warriors cloaked in beauty, strong, expressive, and unafraid to challenge what needs to be challenged. Their words carry weight because they speak from a place of authenticity. If you were born in May, your presence is often a source of harmony in chaos. But don't mistake your sensitivity for softness, it's divine strength. Your life invites others to believe that love is power, and that courage doesn't always roar sometimes. It simply shows up with grace. Those born in June have a natural ability to bring structure to what feels scattered. Their strength lies in building, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. They're the ones others lean on when things fall apart. Their gift is stability in motion, clarity in confusion. Like Nehemiah, who rebuilt Jerusalem's walls with one hand on the sword and the other on the bricks, Nehemiah 4:17. June souls are warriors and architects of peace. They don't just dream. They establish. They create safe spaces where others can heal, grow, and find direction. If you were born on June 24th, linked to John the Baptist, your mission is especially prophetic. You were born to prepare the way, to speak truth even when it's uncomfortable, and to call people back to alignment. Your presence brings order not through control, but through example. Your ability to plan, organize, and discern is a divine gift, meant to guide others out of confusion and into purpose. June-borns don't seek the spotlight. They become the light in dark places by living lives of wisdom, integrity, and service. People born in July often carry a deep, quiet knowing. From a young age, they seem to ask questions others avoid. Why are we here? What does God want from me? Their souls hunger for depth, meaning, and eternal truth. Like Solomon, they don't chase power, they seek understanding. And when they speak, there's weight in their words. July-borns aren't just thinkers, they're guides. They lead others through spiritual storms, not by shouting, but by simply walking in wisdom. James 3:17. Those born on July 3rd, connected to the Apostle Thomas, may have wrestled with doubt, but once they find truth, they become unshakable. And those born on July 7th carry a unique spiritual clarity. The number 7, biblically tied to completion and divine perfection, echoes in their calling. If you were born in July, your path may have been marked by hard questions, but that journey has made you a lighthouse for others. You're not just meant to find answers. You're meant to become one. Those born in August often walk between two worlds, the visible and the invisible, the now and the eternal. There's something intense about their presence, as if heaven whispers through them. They're not here to maintain the status quo, they're here to disrupt, transform, and elevate. Like Paul, whose life was radically changed and then used to change others, Acts 9. August-borns carry the fire of transformation. They speak with clarity, live with passion, and move with purpose. If you were born on August 6th, the day of the Transfiguration, your mission may involve revealing the divine in the ordinary. And if your birthday falls on August 15th, linked to the Assumption of Mary, there's likely a strong call on your life to rise above, to live with one foot on earth and one eye on eternity. August souls are bridges connecting people to truth, to healing, and to the heart of God. They don't just go through transformation. They become agents of it, ushering others into divine encounters through their lives. Those born in September often carry a strategic mind paired with a deeply spiritual heart. They're not just thinkers. They're builders of systems that last. Order comes naturally to them, but it's not about control. It's about alignment with divine principles. Like Joseph in Egypt, they can interpret dreams and translate them into action. Genesis 41. They bring structure where there is chaos and clarity where there is confusion. People often come to them for advice and rarely leave the same. Their presence brings stability, truth, and direction. Those born on September 29th, the feast of the archangels Michael, Gabriel, and Raphael, often carry a profound spiritual authority. Like Michael, they protect. Like Gabriel, they deliver truth. Like Raphael, they heal. September-borns tend to be natural mentors and leaders not because they demand it, but because they embody it. Their calling is to teach, to correct in love, and to lead with integrity. If that's your month, you've likely been entrusted with more than most, because you were designed to carry wisdom that builds, protects, and guides others. October-born individuals are marked by transformation. They walk through life with a deep awareness that change isn't something to be feared. It's where God does His greatest work. Their calling is to renew, to restore, and to breathe life into what feels forgotten. Like Ruth, who left everything behind to follow a new path, Ruth 1:16. They carry a faith that isn't afraid of change, it embraces it. Their presence often signals a turning point in others' lives. Where they go, new seasons begin. Those born on October 4th, tied to Saint Francis of Assisi, often feel drawn to simplicity, service, and deep compassion. Their souls radiate humility and peace. And those born on October 31st, the eve of All Saints' Day, may carry a call to awaken others, to ignite spiritual hunger, to stir the soul. October souls don't settle for surface. They're drawn to the inner life, to soul work. If you were born this month, chances are you've experienced deep inner shifts. But those shifts weren't breakdowns, they were breakthroughs. Your mission is to help others find their own. November-born individuals often walk through life with a quiet depth that few truly understand. They don't need to speak much to be heard. There's weight in their silence. Their intuition is powerful, almost prophetic, allowing them to perceive truths others miss. Like Daniel, who discerned mysteries and stood firm in faith, Daniel 2:22. They carry an inner knowing that comes straight from heaven. They read rooms, sense motives, and feel what others hide. Their spiritual antenna is always up, and it's not by accident. They've been entrusted with discernment for a purpose. Those born on November 1st, All Saints' Day, often carry a radiant spiritual legacy. They're called to live as witnesses not just of truth, but of God's presence in the everyday. November souls are drawn to the eternal. They think deeply, feel intensely, and often battle in silence. But when they emerge, they carry wisdom that changes lives. If you were born in November, your stillness is not weakness, it's strategy. Your voice doesn't have to be loud to shake the atmosphere. You're here to reveal what others overlook and to guide others with grace through mystery into truth. Those born in December often carry a light that feels different. It's not loud, but it's unmistakable. Their presence brings warmth, hope, and vision, especially when others feel like giving up. Spiritually, they echo the promise of Isaiah 9:2. The people walking in darkness have seen a great light. December is the month of fulfillment, the closing of a cycle, and most importantly, the celebration of Christ's birth. So it's no surprise that those born in this month often walk with a purpose that shines far beyond their years. They bring joy, but also depth. They inspire, but also anchor. Their faith feels like a lantern in the dark. If you were born on December 25th, your life carries a powerful echo of divine love. You don't just celebrate the Savior, you reflect Him. You've likely noticed how people naturally come to you for encouragement, clarity, or simply to be reminded that things will get better. December souls tend to be generous, not just with material things, but with time, presence, and wisdom. Their calling is to be the good news, not just preach it. They remind people of hope, of home, of heaven. Whether in leadership, service, or simple everyday kindness, they illuminate the lives around them. But don't mistake their kindness for naivete. December-born individuals have often walked through deep valleys, personal winters, so to speak. And yet, they rise, bringing warmth where there's cold and vision where there's fog. Their lives are often marked by restoration and inspiration. If that's your month, know this. Your light is not just decorative, it's directive. You've been placed on earth to reflect the light of the Savior, not only during Christmas, but every single day of the year. Now that we've walked through each month, take a moment to breathe and reflect. Did something inside you stir? Maybe you saw yourself clearly for the first time. Maybe you felt seen, understood, even called. That's not by chance. It's because your birth was never random. The month you were born into is just one piece of the divine code God placed within you. When He formed you, He didn't just give you a body, He gave you a blueprint. And that blueprint carries purpose, gifts, and a spiritual identity waiting to be activated. I want to invite you to leave a comment with your birth month and tell us, did you connect with the message? What did you recognize about yourself? When we share, we create something powerful, a living testimony of how God speaks, even through time. This isn't just content, it's community. We are sons and daughters discovering the Father's voice in places we never thought to look like the calendar. And as we recognize our spiritual identity, we step into something greater, a faith that's alive, personal, and deeply connected to God's plan. So don't let this be just another video. Let it be a mirror, a moment of awakening. Because one thing is certain, nothing in your life has been accidental. Not the month you were born, not the season you're in, and certainly not the calling God placed inside you. He chose you on purpose, for a purpose. And that journey, It started the day you were born. Now I want to hear from you. Did the message of your birth month speak to something deep inside you? Leave a comment below and tell me what stood out. Your story could confirm someone else's calling, and that's powerful. And if you haven't done it yet, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because this is just the beginning. There's so much more to uncover about your spiritual design, and trust me, you don't want to miss it. Ready for the next step? Click the video on your screen now and discover the 7 signs that you were chosen by God before you were born. It's going to open your eyes to something you've always felt, but never fully understood. Until next time, stay faithful and stay awake. I'm John, and this journey is just beginning.